The Star Wars community says farewell to one of its most important and beloved members. It's Wednesday, December 1st, and you'll hear about that story and more this week in Star Wars. This Week in Star Wars is your source for new and noteworthy developments from the galaxy far, far away. I'm your host, Matt Fox. And now, this week's lead story. Irvin Kershner, director of The Empire Strikes Back and one of George Lucas's professors at USC Film School, died this week. Kersh, as he is affectionately known by his friends and fans, helmed the second Star Wars film, which most fans and critics agree is the best film among the 6 live-action features. Kershner was famously reluctant to take the job as the director of The Empire Strikes Back, feeling it would be folly to follow the super-successful Star Wars. Other notable Kershner projects include The Raid on Entebbe, Never Say Never Again, and RoboCop 2. Kershner was 87 years old. In other news this week, The Clone Wars returns this week after a brief hiatus for the Thanksgiving holiday with a new episode entitled The Pursuit of Peace. A brief synopsis of what appears to be another Padme-oriented episode is available on StarWars.com, and the episode itself will air on Friday, December the 3rd. In collecting news this week, the Black Friday post-Thanksgiving holiday sales may be over, but there continue to be a number of discounts available on Star Wars product across the land. Target has a number of unadvertised specials on Star Wars toys, including $20 off the large AT-AT, as well as the release last Sunday of their Empire Strikes Back retro packaging 3-pack of 3-packs. Toys R Us is offering a 2 for $10 on basic Star Wars and Clone Wars action figures. The world's largest retailer, Walmart, has been getting in supplies of its exclusive TIE bomber vehicle, which is ringing up at almost $40. Online retailers are also running a number of specials which seem to come and go at a daily clip, and StarWars.shop was offering a free layup peekaboo pen with any order of $25, while supplies last. Her Universe, the clothing line brought to girl Star Wars fans by the voice of Ahsoka Tano, Ashley Eckstein, is offering a R2-D2 pen featuring artwork by popular artist Jake, which is limited to only 500 pieces. $40 will get you the pen, as well as an autographed Christmas card by Miss Eckstein, or you can get it free with any order from Her Universe. Upscale cooking supplies store Williams-Sonoma is once again host to a number of Star Wars exclusive items, including new pancake molds shaped like vehicles from the original film, as well as a Darth Vader spatula and adult-sized apron are now available at stores and online. New releases this week in the world of publishing include Vortex, Book 6 in the Fate of the Jedi series, which was released on November 30th. This was followed a day later by 3 releases by Dark Horse, which include a new Star Wars omnibus focusing on the exploits of rogue Jedi Quinlan Vos, the next in the Clone Wars Digest series entitled The Deadly Hands of Shon-Ju, as well as the 6th and final issue of Star Wars The Old Republic, the crossover comic book related to the upcoming BioWare video game, which, as we reported earlier, has been delayed in the grand tradition of all Star Wars video games by several months. Lastly, this week we'll see the release of Star Wars The Clone Wars magazine, issue number 2, on December the 7th. Our last news item this week. While it is not at all surprising that This Week in Star Wars was not able to reach its fundraising goal of $400,000 to buy the original Darth Vader costume from The Empire Strikes Back, hope springs eternal, as no one raised the money to buy the Darth Vader suit from The Empire Strikes Back, and it failed to sell at Christie's auction last Thursday. As reported on Forbes.com, the movie prop did not even reach the expected opening bid of $250,000. This is perhaps because all the well-heeled would-be pop culture buyers in the audience were tapped out after spending over $430,000 for James Bond's gun from the film From Russia with Love. So, listeners, let's keep an eye out, and if we see this pop up on eBay or Craigslist in the near future, we'll give it another try. The original Star Wars film was a phenomenon. The Empire Strikes Back made the concept of Star Wars an institution. And that is in no small part due to the efforts of Irvin Kershner. George Lucas and Lee Brackett, with the help, no doubt, of Lawrence Kasdan and Gary Kurtz, came up with the story and the concept of the movie. ILM equally provided the special effects. But back in those pre-CGI days, the real action and the real film was being made on a soundstage in London, with real people, albeit sometimes in costumes and sometimes controlling puppets. And the man who directed those actors, and had no compunctions about rewriting dialogue provided to him by his former student, was Irvin Kershner. I told someone at work yesterday, after news broke that he died, that he was, arguably, the most important person in the history of Star Wars. And while that may overstate his role, it does so only slightly. Had the second film been anything but fantastic, the franchise might well have died then and there. And that is all to the credit of Mr. Kershner. Before we close this week, a reminder, it's the first Saturday of the month, which means the DC Star Wars Collectors Club will be having its monthly meeting. The December get-together will be held in Falls Church, Virginia. Details are available on their website, dcswcc.org. All are welcome, so if you're in the Mid-Atlantic this weekend and you're not at that meeting, you'd better be dead or in jail. And that was This Week in Star Wars. Join us again next week for more news, notes, and developments from the galaxy far, far away. Visit www.thisweekinstarwars.com or www.twisw.com for links to old episodes, news about the show, as well as links to some of the stories we discussed in today's program. You can follow us on our breaking news Twitter feed, TWISWcast, and we welcome comments on our Facebook page. We also welcome news suggestions, questions, and comments via email at host@thisweekinstarwars.com. Help us grow the community. If you enjoyed This Week in Star Wars, please go to iTunes and leave a positive review of the podcast. You've been listening to This Week in Star Wars. We troll the web so you don't have to.
This Week in Star Wars is not affiliated with Lucasfilm, its subsidiaries, or any other entity mentioned in this podcast. Star Wars, its characters, and creations are the property of Lucasfilm. All other trademarks are property of their respective trademark owners. This Week in Star Wars is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. This podcast is copyright 2010 This Week in Star Wars. Invaluable technical assistance provided by WebStorm Interactive. News, comments, and questions can be directed to host@thisweekinstarwars.com. More information, links to stories presented, past episodes, and additional contact information are available at www.thisweekinstarwars.com.
For 4 long years, I have listened to you all complain about your East Coast media elite problems, your apartment renovations, and your overpriced Star Wars memorabilia.